for the episode Pig Out. We are vlogging on the karaoke episode this week, which a lot of us have been so excited about and waiting for, and the one that I heard that a lot of people who worked on it said was really fun to work on, and now we see why. It was a very, very funny episode, just to say that straight up, pretty much. Okay, so there are some things to talk about, though. Spoiler alert, remember, there are spoilers in this episode. Hope you've already watched it. The episode basically focuses on the Muppets going to a karaoke bar and getting drunk and then dealing with hangovers. The main focus character, though, is Miss Piggy, because she finds out that everybody goes out and hangs out together and she wasn't invited, so she tricks Kermit into having them ask her to come with them. And it's kind of confusing, but she basically manipulates him by saying that she's not really going to say yes, but then she does end up saying yes, and everyone's all frustrated about it. But then it turns out she's a lot of fun to hang out with, and she introduces everyone to Ed Helms, who, first of all, I want to say was a great guest. This was kind of cool to only have one celebrity show up, and he was like a key essential part to the story, and he blended right in really well with the Muppets and had some great songs to sing, especially because we all know he's so musically talented. But he didn't overshadow them, which was awesome. He came in, he did his thing, you know, he brought his part of the story, and then he's gone. You know, good use of a celebrity right there. That was really good. I liked it. And he was funny. And he had the best joke in the entire episode. My personal favorite joke was when Floyd asked him, where do I know you from? And he said, oh, I don't know, The Office, the TV show. And then Floyd thought he meant like The Office where they work. That was hilarious. That was such a good use of, like, you know, Ed Helms' work and just the play on words and everything. Just perfect joke right there. Had me on the floor laughing, as did the whole episode, but that was my favorite joke, I think, out of the whole thing. But then, excuse me, but then everyone has a good time. They find out Miss Piggy's really cool to hang out with, and then everyone has hangovers, much to Kermit's dismay, which is totally a workable scenario. My concern is that some things may not have worked out as well as they could have, and you know what, I'll discuss that later. Let's first get some of the other stuff out of the way. The other story going on is Fozzie, who accidentally injures Statler and then goes and visits him in the hospital, and that's a scenario that I think has been long time coming and has been that's something that I kind of always imagined. Like, we want to kind of see like a deeper thing between the two of them, and they do kind of share a slightly deeper moment between the two between the two of each other. And then it's kind of funny because Statler kind of ends up faking him out, because that's very Statler of him. I unfortunately feel like it was slightly missed out, because I feel like we should have, you know, dove a little deeper into excuse my words. I wish we had dived a little deeper into that. Like, I want to know why Statler doesn't like Fozzie. Like, I wish we could have explored that a little bit more. I still love that poor Fozzie just cannot get a break with these two characters, though. And I love that they're heckling him while he's doing his stand-up too. You know, just like they did back in the Muppet Show. I was kind of waiting for that to happen too. It was, you know, like, they're there, come on, let's see some more heckling going on, and poor self-conscious Fozzie just can't win with them. But then it kind of feels like Statler kind of got his comeuppance because he ended up getting hit with a t-shirt. So it worked out. And he's a freaking sadist as always. So it was really funny. He did have a few dead jokes, though, like when he was talking about, he was mistaking himself for his dog at one point. He was talking about allergies, and then when he was talking about, like, a wind fan, I don't know, for some reason it was kind of like a, what? Like, I wasn't really laughing or anything like that, so there was a couple of dead jokes. But, like I said, I just kind of wish we could have explored a little bit more with those two. Like, maybe we'll revisit that later, and, maybe we'll find out more. It's funny. It's kind of interesting how this is a show that they're like, we're going to explore their personal lives and relationships and everything, and yet it seems like we're not quite diving as deep as I wish we would for some reason. I don't know, maybe it's hard to condense so much information into a 22-minute episode, but I hope that maybe possibly they'll explore that again later, because I think that, you know, we just want to kind of see why. Why do they hate Fozzie so much? Anyway, back to Miss Piggy. I loved seeing Miss Piggy go out and hang out with everybody, and they found out that she was really cool, and it was really awesome to like just see her interact with everybody and just not be like a selfish bitch, and actually appreciating people and having them appreciate her. That was actually kind of nice. Like, even if it was temporary, I liked that, and I would wish we would see that more. A slight concern though is like, is something like that coming in a little too soon? I mean, it kind of flips around later, which we'll also talk about, but I feel like they're like pushing a lot at us for the first couple of episodes, and maybe the show is kind of like just testing the waters right now on like what it can get away with and what it can do. But again, I just feel like that's something we could have like explored later and then like actually create an arc with that. But what was a little, I'm so sorry, I don't mean to like gripe on people's, you know, hard work and everything like that, but what got to me a little bit was that she seemed to have like an arc in development, but then all of a sudden it got flipped around like so quickly as if it was nothing. Like, she was actually like defending the Muppets. You know, like Kermit was like, you can't go hang out with them so late, and she was like, excuse me, but they're really fun. Again, that was so cool that she's actually defending them. What I didn't like about this episode, which I'm a little surprised by, I'm sorry, again, I'm really sorry, we're getting into criticism mode here. I love this episode, it was so funny, it had a lot of great setups, but there was a couple things, just like the Statler and Waldorf and Fozzie thing, and this thing that I felt like were executed very well. Like, I felt like there could have been more that could have been explored with Statler and Fozzie. And I feel like with Miss Piggy, I was not really all that enthusiastic about Kermit manipulating her. Like, I feel like the episode could have been a lot more relatable if the reason Miss Piggy found out that she could not keep hanging out with people was because she realizes or is convinced that she basically needs to like be a better superior, and she needs to, you know, set a better example for everybody in order to bring harmony to the show. But instead, Kermit is like, no, you're too important for them. And what I don't like about that is that, do you remember episode 1 when Kermit and Miss Piggy had this really heartfelt moment and they realized they had made a big boo-boo with each other, and Kermit said, let's be honest with each other from now on. And Miss Piggy's like, okay, let's do that. Kermit's not doing that. He's being really selfish, kind of, in a way. I just feel like he's not respecting Miss Piggy. Like, he doesn't think that she's gonna accept anything that he has to tell her. Like, why can't he just lay it down the line how things are? You know, and why can't he just compromise? Like, just say, look, you can take people out, just do it on Friday when people don't have to get up in the morning. It's like, why are you cutting off fun? And you're always stressing out about how, you know, Miss Piggy is like a terror to everybody in the office, and now all of a sudden she's like everyone's friend. Like, what's horrible about that? You know, there's better ways to bring order. Don't just cut people off. I'm sorry, I just ranted about that a little bit, but that was something that just kind of got to me. I swear, I loved this episode because there were so many great jokes in it. I really, really did, but this was just like the big thing that kind of got to me at the end. And I feel horrible, but I just felt like it could have, you know, I don't mind how it ended, I just wish it had been done in a different way, I guess. Like I just explained. And, I just feel like, you know, Miss Piggy is sometimes, you know, she's wonderful and she's vulnerable, but she can be a little hard to relate to because she's like such a bitch. But when we see her in such nice little vulnerable moments, that's like, yes, this is why I love these characters, because they're really touching me on a level. You know, they're changing and they're relating to each other, and that's awesome. But if she's just gonna, you know, if Kermit's just gonna keep on being okay with her being selfish, then that's not cool. Kind of a thought. I hope that, like what I just said, they, you know, in the first episode said they would be honest with each other. I kind of hope that with Kermit being more manipulative, that's gonna come back and bite him in the ass at some point. Like, you know, they're gonna have an argument, be like, you know, you said you would be honest with me, and then have Kermit just realize, you know what, he's right, he's not been very honest with her. Because I feel like she's been pretty real. She's been kind of a, you know, again, a bitch, but at least she's been real. She's been honest. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I would gladly watch this episode over again, believe me. It's just that that one part really is like, you know, I want to see more development between these characters, and I want to see them change, and I want to see them, you know, change for the good, basically. And I just don't want them to go back to being their old selves. Like, that's the whole point of a character arc, is that we see development. So I'm hoping that if this is, you know, obviously there's nothing we can do to change this episode, but I'm hoping that this will lead to other things, basically. It'll lead to more development, more of a understanding between Kermit and Miss Piggy, and I don't know. Kermit was kind of a jerk again. I mean, I totally get it. Like, I don't blame him for being frustrated. And by the way, I loved when he slammed his book on the table and everyone was like, ugh. Like, I don't know, that was just such a good moment. But I understand that he was a bit of a, you know, a jerk, but at the same time, I just wish, I don't know. Kermit, you need to be a little more happy. You need to be a little more joyful. Come on. Where's Denise, by the way? Like, she appeared for like all of like no more than 3 minutes, if even that, in the first episode, and it's like, okay, he's got a girlfriend, we've got all this build up, it's like, where is she? I know she's gonna come back at some point, but I wish like Kermit could have like left the office and like just like spent 30 seconds with her. Like, oh, I'm like all frustrated Piggy and blah blah blah. Like that speech where he was like, oh, of course Miss Piggy did this, blah blah blah. Like, why couldn't he have been like having that speech with Denise? I will say though, it is kind of cute how Kermit was like all frustrated with Piggy, but then he was like, yeah, she's pretty good at that, isn't she? Like, he actually had a few little moments where he appreciated her. Like, even though I don't really like the manipulative scenario, I do like that he realizes that, you know, he learned from Miss Piggy. You know, I don't really know if I buy it that much, but at least it was like, okay, we're kind of exploring that. Like, I didn't expect him to like kind of have a, you know, start having these feelings again so quick in the series. Again, maybe it's building up to something, we'll see. But it was still cute. Like, that's kind of like what I was looking for in a way. Like, I want to see Kermit, like, you know, being in denial about the fact that he still has feelings for Miss Piggy. So it was cute. And I like that at the very end he was like, yep, guys, sorry, I don't know how Piggy's brain works. It's like, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You love her. You know you do. So anyway, I hope I see more development with that. Some other things in the episode, excuse me, I do like that Sam and Janice, I kind of like this thing that's going on. The only problem I have with it is that it kind of came in really quick and then it kind of ended really quick. And that's why I hope they will revisit it later, because it is a cute idea. Like, Sam, this really, you know, conservative American, is like all of a sudden having feelings for like hippie child, flaky Janice. It's like, it's really cute, and I saw his despair, but I guess I just could have seen why he likes her. Like, you could have had a moment where she did something that really like struck his attention. Like when he was impressed that she said hi to him, we already kind of got the feeling like he had feelings for her, but I wish we could have seen a moment where he all of a sudden was like, oh, maybe I really like this girl. But it was still really cute, like I said, and I hope that'll come back. I hope the fact that it kind of just like ended abruptly, that whole part in that episode, I hope that means we're gonna come back to that at some point, because it was really adorable, actually. What else real quick? Let's see. Like I was saying before, I hope things aren't moving too quickly in this series. I hope that, you know, again, what they're kind of doing with the series is they're just testing the waters, they're getting their feet wet and just kind of seeing what works. So they'll get it. They'll get it. The structure will find itself, I'm sure. But, you know, people are still really liking the show, so it's doing a good job so far. Also, Scooter. Scooter with no glasses. That was so bizarre. That's like if you took Brock from Pokemon and all of a sudden gave him glasses and all of a sudden he had eyes. It's like one of those like, once you give someone that, you know, that opportunity, you can never go back from it. That was so funny. And, you know, just also in general, seeing them be drunk And also seeing them just have hangovers was so funny. But oh my gosh, so Bunsen and Beaker, what is their deal? I'm just gonna say it, are they gay? Is that what's going on? Because they sang I Got You Bae from Sonny and Cher, and even Bunsen Honey was like, oh, my hero. And that song worked too, because he was like, I've got you, and then Beaker says, me. It was so cute. But then all of a sudden they show up to work wearing the different each other's clothes. Like, what is going on here? And will that be explored? Can we please bring more gay topics into the Muppets? We're already going a super adult route. Like, you know, it can't make it any worse. I hope that we go back to that because that was so funny and kind of shocking. It was just like, what? What's going on? I know we're getting like kind of rambly, so let's just try to wrap it up. What else was there to talk about? Oh, of course, Swedish Chef and his little meatball Swedish sushi. That was another recycled joke. It feels like they're trying to recycle as many of those jokes as possible for whatever reason from that pilot. It's like, it's not like it's not seeable. You didn't have to recycle all those, but Miss Piggy still had a pretty funny reaction to it. Anyway, I feel like I've said everything I wanted to say. Oh, actually, no, I didn't. You guys saw my Muppet Monday and all the predictions I made about the songs that they could maybe sing? They actually sang one that I predicted! They sang Don't Stop Believin' by Journey! I can't believe that they did that! They actually got a song that I chose! That's so cool! Anyway, I'm sorry. I know I spent a while like kind of like harping on this episode, but I think that's just kind of because, you know, we've seen some of the same patterns. I'm like, we need to get out of these patterns now. But I really, really did enjoy it overall. I thought it was funny. I was like squealing like throughout the whole thing. And like I said in my Muppet Monday, it was just so cool to watch them all just hang out with each other and just like, you know, be bros and hang with your bros at a bar. Except for we didn't see Ralph. Like, if you're gonna go to Ralph's Tavern, let's see Ralph do something. He should have sang a song. And also I thought it was a little interesting, you know, Fozzie Bear was like running around all over the place trying to get stuff for Statler. Like, he never showed up at the karaoke bar, but then all of a sudden, like, he didn't even show up to work the next day. It's like, what happened? Did someone text him and say, hey, you don't have to come in? But if that's the case, you'd think Kermit would have gotten the message too. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Anyway, I really did enjoy this episode. As far as humor, I think this was actually one of the funniest episodes overall so far. Very, very enjoyable. Just like I said, unfortunately, just the Statler and Waldorf and Fozzie, you know, depth, I wish we could have gone into more. And I wish that Miss Piggy, you know, coming to terms with things at the end and saying, no, I can't hang out with you, sorry. I wish that had been done a little differently. But other than that, like, overall, it was a great episode. Great celebrity, just great work of jokes and everything like that. Really, really fun episode. I really enjoyed it. I'm hoping that the story arcs are going to develop and improve. We'll see. Again, I'm so sorry about harping. Okay, those are just my opinions also. If anyone out there doesn't feel the same way, then totally fine. Don't worry about it. Everyone's entitled to their opinion at the end of the day. I still love the show. I'm gonna keep watching it and everything. Anyway, really enjoyed it. Go watch it again. And I'll see you guys, I guess, next week for the next vlog and for Muppet Monday and maybe even something this week. We'll see. But thanks again for watching, you guys. Please be sure to subscribe to the channel and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Love ya. Mwah. Bye!